Hi, it's Gab Dad back on our home turf, which is Toronto, and right now in Toronto is the Toronto International Film Festival. And we saw a big one there today, the premiere of, or the Canadian premiere? Yeah, premiere of The Town, which is opening widely. You'll be able to see it in a week, but we just got to see it at the film festival. Do you want to say what The Town's about?
Sure. It's about a group of young Irish Americans who live in Charlestown, which is a part of Boston. And they are bank robbers.
Yeah.
And they come by...
Charleston is the most, they give you a statistic that...
Yeah, it's more banks robbed there than anywhere else.
Yeah.
They're bank robbers, but they come by it honestly because they come from a family of bank robbers. Their fathers were bank robbers. I mean, that's what they do there. So some of the film is...
So as long as your dad does it.
Yeah, that's right. So some of the film is about their robbing banks, and it's very good. It's very tense, beautifully directed, beautifully executed, bank robbing, police chase scenes, as good as I've seen in any movie. And then part of the film is about something different. It's about the attempts of personal redemption. Mostly the
central character of Ben Affleck.
Yes, attempts of personal redemption, the desire to leave behind a bad past and for a better future. And of course, and inevitably, there's a young pretty woman involved in that.
You don't mind that,
do you? No, not at all. I like that bit particularly.
Usually young pretty women are involved in the need for redemption.
Yes. So is that a fair summary of the film?
Oh yeah, that's very fair. I don't think we weren't giving anything away, but
no.
The plot is quite evident even in the marketing campaign. Ben Affleck's central character, also the director.
Yes.
That's a note.
And he dominates the film.
His character, yes.
Well, his character,
and his direction.
Yes, I mean it's Ben Affleck all the way. This film.
Yeah, I mean he's the central, the anti-hero, if you will, that the audience is supposed to empathize with. Certainly, that follows the plot through with this character, and also well written, based on a book called Prince of Thieves,
yeah,
and the screenplay is also partially Ben Affleck as well.
And the other important character in the film is an FBI detective who's chasing this group, and in particular Ben Affleck, and that is played by the now famous John Hamm of Mad Men, and he's good too. He's excellent. Good too.
Yeah. The whole cast is great. Jeremy Renner is the other significant bank robber.
Hurt Locker.
He's from the Hurt Locker. He's great. I read that Ben Affleck employed a lot of native Bostonians, is that the term? Non-actors, non-professionals, to sort of to give the realism, flesh out the other people on screen. And it has a great realism to it. I think that's one thing to say about this. It has sort of a gritty, it feels very authentic. You really get the sense of Boston, of that neighborhood, of these kind of guys. We couldn't understand half of what they were saying. They have thick accents, they mumble. I mean, there's not any Shakespearean enunciation going on here. And so it lent a really good authenticity, I thought.
The film is about 2 hours long, and it passes what, for me, is the principal test, the most important test, and that is it's thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, the watch-look test.
Yeah, you're not bored in this film. You're caught up in the story. You're thoroughly entertained by it.
The pacing is great. You go in between these very taut chases and robbery scenes, and then the discussions and whatnot in between, and it has a very nice flow to it. It's very well edited and, as we said, directed.
Any criticisms of this film?
Well, you mentioned the central. There's the romance is sort of the central emotional.
That was a little tinny, I thought. That was a little kind of forced and contrived.
It's a bit hokey, and so that would. I mean, my main criticism or isms would be touches of hokiness and cliche throughout.
And particularly the ending, of course. We won't divulge the ending, of course. But I thought, oh, come on.
Well, yeah, you said, oh, the ending is such a cliche. And I said, well, the alternative was blah, blah, blah. And that would have been a cliche, too. I mean, it is, in some sense, it falls victim to the typical bank robber, robbers, the guy trying to get out, the one last job so he can get out, the FBI man on his tail. The story sort of is serving itself up to all those sort of typical cliches that we've seen. And so the central romance, I can see why it was necessary for the emotional hook and for those nuances and those aspects of the story, that level. But it was also kind of like, come on, they meet. This is not giving anything away. And she's telling him that she was robbed. And she said, but I'd recognize his voice if I heard it. And the audience laughs, but it's a bit of a snickery kind of laugh because it's sort of like, come on, like he was pushing the boundaries of believability
a little bit. There's nothing tremendously original in this film. There's no idea that's original.
No, but it's really well done.
But it's very well done.
You can't say that really too often.
No.
Usually we see unoriginal, poorly done things.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right. But
it's a very solid, entertaining package. Great performances. Again, very well directed.
Academy Award material.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think it's a crowd pleaser. I mean, I think it'll do well. I think it should appeal to a wide audience. I think that it's quite violent, but guys will definitely like it, and I think women would too.
Well, it is violent, but not in a graphic way. I mean, a lot of people get shot, but you don't.
There's a lot of shooting, not so much blood, and some bludgeoning and whatnot.
But there's
it's cops and robbers violence.
Yeah, but some of the as I think I said before, some of the car chase scenes in it are as good as any that I've seen.
Ben Affleck said that he was very influenced by films like Ronin and French Connection when directing the car. I mean, those you can't get better than that. So, I mean, I think he's got a bright future. Talk about cliches. The kid's got a bright future as a director. I mean, he definitely has a command for some.
But he's a good actor too. He was a good actor.
He was good in this role. I'm not usually such a fan. He's Ben Affleck's. He's got this underbite. He's very sort of
laconic,
pre-man, kind of, got that caveman thing going on a little bit. But he certainly suited this role. And as we said about John Hamm and even Jeremy Renner, not breaking out of the mold in their performances and what they're sort of good at, but they're good at it.
They are good at it.
And Rebecca Hall, the female, she's a bit of a newcomer. You might recognize her from Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Quite good, I think that she has.
Yeah, she did what she had to do.
She did what she had to do. Well, they all did, and very well.
So I would recommend this film. Go and see it. I think I would give it perhaps 4 dads. Yeah. 4 out of 5 dads.
I think I would give it 4 1/4 Gabs.
4 1/4. Okay, well that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
And what that translates into for our faithful viewers is go and see this film when it opens in a few days.
We recommend it in a week. Yeah.
Okay.
So Gab and Dad signing off. More coming to you from Tiff. We didn't mention one important thing.
What's that?
It's my birthday.
Oh, it's her birthday.
If you care. Other than that,
we all care.
Thank you, Dad.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Bye.